Hello and welcome to the Div 2 Grand Finals of the 33rd season in ETF2L. I am Surny, joined today by Gemm on production, and Sprite will be joining me in talking about what is happening on the screen. He'll be walking us through it because I'll have no idea what's going to be happening. I'm not clairvoyant enough to make guesses, but how's it going?
I'm good, Surny. How are you, my man?
I'm doing grand. A little tired. I don't even know why, because I slept for like 12 hours last night. I've reached a point where I sleep too much, I think, but who cares about that, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'm doing grand for the most part. I'm happy to see some great gameplay, hopefully, out of these wonderful gamers here.
Yeah, it should be a good game. These guys actually played each other in the middle of the season. They seemed pretty close from what I've seen. It was a 4-2 result.
That is pretty close, yeah.
But neither of the maps they played on this season are they playing in this best of three, so it'll be interesting.
Definitely. We're going to be playing Metalworks first, as far as I'm aware, as long as they don't decide to change their mind. So that's nice. All right. Well, let's have a quick rundown of the teams here, shall we? We're going to be having the team of the Zoo versus Garda Panteri. The Zoo consisting of what seems to be Tukan, and a bunch of aliens. We have Aoshi, of course, our great ETF2L admin, playing on that team as well. Viljak, we got Scatmo, Kitty Kitty, and good old Calcool rounding out that roster. And then on the other end, we have the team of Garda, consisting of ELS, Milky, Slash, Mankey, Dissy, and Derpy Hooves to round out that roster. What are your bets on this matchup? I mean, obviously, I don't know how the previous match went. I didn't do that much research, but even though it was close, what do you think how this might go? As we're maybe getting started soon as well. So, you know.
Between these two teams, it's really a coin flip because I feel like both teams have pretty strong DM edges. Maybe more so on the Garda team, just because their players like Milky are very known for their incredible DM. But on the Zoo team, we've got a really solid scout duo, and I'm pretty sure Tabby is a really strong force on this team as well. As we go live.
Yeah, indeed, there we go. We're headed into the first round. Let's see what these teams try to do on our first round of Metalworks here in the first round of the Grand Finals of Div 2, as they are making their way down to the middle point. Tavi looking to be a little faster than his counterpart here, being the first man to enter the middle point. Lobbing those grenades, shutting down Derpy, and yeah, just Zoo absolutely taking control while Garda being a little bit slower, taking the valley instead, and just the teams both exchanging a little bit of bombing happening. Not much going on right now. Finally, somebody goes high, and Vulture's the first to pay with his life. Slash does get traded out though, and Kitty finally jumping in, also cleaning up a lot of damage, and Garda's just crumbling under all the aggression that suddenly came out. Only Derpy and Mankey surviving. They, maybe at least Mankey got out with his life. Derpy does also go down very late. What a dominant mid on the side of Zoo there.
It's a really slow-paced mid, and then I saw the both soldiers from Garda bombing. I think Slash went a bit too early though. Milky did some good damage, but because Slash wasn't able to do anything with his bomb, getting denied so early, they just crumbled as soon as he tried to take the hit. Because they were completely set up for it.
You got shut down early, and then nothing else really happened off the bat of it. They're also going to be taking second of it, and looking to even take it into last. However, Mankey did survive, and he's going to be coming up on his own Ubers, so at least it's going to be a hold that they're going to be trying to mount up here, and they already have a sentry and a heavy setup. They're definitely going to be trying to hold on to this point for as long as they physically can. Kitty on the sniper, though. Maybe he can bust this hold open.
Spy checked as well, so I'm pretty sure they might know they have a sniper now.
They might, but even then,
they're
have a pretty
definitely playing hold as well.
Yeah, they're playing very passively. They're playing very passively to not give him any angles. But even if he just gets, like, just a single frag here, you can bust this defense wide open. Because they take no risks. He's being very aggressive there on the left side as well.
So close. It doesn't really get spotted.
Yeah, Milky kind of spotted him out, and that's the end of that.
But I feel like on this map, that's the kind of peak you need to take. Like,
it is,
because
yeah,
the doors
don't
are
get
so
a lot.
easy to hold, like, you just need that 1 second of opening to get in.
Yeah, it's very, like, the corners are very tight as well. So, like, you don't really know when he's going to be able to get a cheeky shot of. Everything's covered in shutter doors as well, so he's going to be trying to get an angle here, potentially. Because I think Kitty is going to be what the Zoo's going to be trying to maybe back their push off of here, as he does not hit the shot and gets shut down by the scouts. That's going to be a slowdown for them. Nice try. Well, that's going to be a little bit of a more space now for Garda to take here down there as they make their way forward into lobby. They spot out the sticky trap, nothing happening there. Slash trying to go in for the bomb, does get shut down though, gets Aoshi kind of low, but does not manage to clean him up.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Garda Panteri take their combo in the lobby a bit more. I think they really could have got that.
Fortunately, they did not manage. Also, we saw trying to go in and just getting shut down by the sentry, and nothing happening on that end. So it's just a back and forth of people sacking in. Tabby taking down Milky, who's trying to be cheeky. Jumps straight through that sticky trap wonderfully. That's gonna be an opening. It might be an opening for the Zoo to take here. As a soldier down, it's a pretty important role to lose when you're trying to defend. But they choose to not push off of it yet. So let's see what they try to do here. I don't know. There's a very early stalemate here. What do you think these teams might be doing to try to bust this? Because
I think
the sniper didn't work.
The first thing you got to do is get rid of this gun. The engineer and the Garda Panteri has actually moved this gun on, so it's a lot easier to spam now. They can just get control of maybe this main and left side doors. They might be able to get the gun down, and then they can open up a lot more from there. Because with their single stack, they've been getting onto Mankey pretty easily, even with the gun. So if you get that gun down, it's the anyone's game after that.
I guess, yeah, the sentry does shut down essentially half of this last point, right? And you only have a very unfortunate angle to approach him if you don't want to get shot by it immediately. I don't know how they would plan to bust this open. Let's see what they try here. We should see another sack come in from one of the teams pretty soon. I'd be surprised if it was on the side of Garda.
Kelly's building a banner right now, actually.
Actually, yeah, he's running that backup, so maybe he's going to be trying to do something with that.
You're interested to see if they use a banner to just get the gun, or if they're going to trade and then use the banner.
It's the more normal thing to do, right? You just trade and then you use the banner afterwards to kind of push the after Uber fight into your favor. Could very well work. As we say that though, we do have ELS on the sniper as well on the side of Garda now. Maybe he's trying to go for some shot here. Zookeeper going
so low.
Cali, yeah,
Cali dies. That resets him so hard as well when they're playing banners.
That is unfortunate. He's lost that banner. He can't do anything with that, and that's a player down as well. Garda being a little bit more aggressive now, seeing if they can poke forward into this lobby a little bit. Slash going a little bit too much, going for a little bit too much of the cake, and getting punished for it immediately. But they can maybe afford that.
I'd like to see Garda take their team further into the lobby, because if I how many doors there is to cover there, one player down on this map's huge.
Absolutely. If that's an entire part of the lobby just cleared out that nobody's looking at, you can easily try to sneak somebody in there. Again, Else being very aggressive here. He really wants to get a peek onto something. He really wants to just pop somebody's head off. It's decided that it might not be the thing to do anymore. He's going to be moving back to a spy actually now. Maybe just a spy check, but maybe also to move out.
I think it's going to be move out. It's much less spy checking as well, so... Oh, it does look like he got instantly spotted.
Nice try. Nice try. He is actually going to go in as the spy. He's going to be trying to... He does get spotted, unfortunately. He's cloaked a second too late. But maybe, just maybe... They are aware of the spy, obviously, now, so he's probably not going to be doing much with that anymore. But just a distraction, just a scare of the spy. Might be enough to, make Zuby a little bit more passive here. Which seems to have worked for a bit. Yeah, they're, very passive now. They've completely cleared that lobby. And make up a lot of room. Who knows if that's going to be enough for Garda to capitalize off of? Arguably not, but we'll see. Yeah, they're making their way forward again. They've realized that the spy is probably not an issue anymore. That they've scared him off. That Frenchman is not going to be an issue. And Garda also, they're just taking their sweet time. They're sitting on their last, but they don't really want to take any risks at all. They're just going to be sitting here. And
I think the Zoo is waiting for them to get impatient and trying to force a fight.
Going to be waiting for the enemy to make a mistake.
Banners now as well. It looks like he is.
He is indeed, yes. That is another backup. I guess it's really just going to be a game of who can get their banner up first and then try to make a push off of that at this point. Just the little bits of scraps of spam that you can exchange here.
They're giving so much space to guard it. Oh, there's a second, man.
He does try going pretty deep. Did some decent damage, but obviously, ultimately, jumping into 4 players is not going to be very healthy and not going to be very efficient. But you know, it's something that opens up a little bit. Maybe that's the aggression they wanted at Garda coming in. Slash does actually pop Aoshi out of it. It does force him off, and Mankey still not forced to pop at all. Finally popping off his own Uber just to counter it essentially, and then that's a far better one. He did try. He did try, but the sentry is still there. Slash and Derpy both being down.
Actually, I think they're setting up for the backup here.
They might.
Garda,
they might be.
They could get punished for this.
They're not taking any risks. They did lose 2 players during that exchange, so they decided that we're not going to take any risks at all. Calido on the spy. They don't know that he's on spy, so at least not yet. So maybe he can just even get just a stab of some kind and open this wide up for his team. Just that little exchange was a little bit of action that we finally needed. Yeah, like Zeus being very passive as well. They're just all basically hinging all their bets on his spy now, just seeing if he can make something happen. Because they're certainly not taking any risks, holding very far back on the second point. Garda doesn't probably even seem to be aware of it too much. They're finally taking some space in lobby that they've been given. And Cali is just a very patient man, looking to shove a knife in somebody's back. As Kitty also jumping in, actually, seeing what he can maybe make something happen. Cali tries to also go for the stab, does ultimately miss though. And that's 2 players down, 3 players down now with Gatman also going down on the side of the zoo. And that's just going to force them to back out here. And Jesus Christ, Slash. Absolute madman. Yeah. He did not get scared at all. He just held onto that Uber and they managed to escape with their lives.
Yeah, that's pretty big as well, because I feel like if they got forced there, they could easily be giving up mid in this situation.
Yeah, that would have been a very, very quick snowballing effect that Garda could have taken there. So that's gonna put things in their favor. Milky does have that full banner though. He's holding that trumpet in his hand. He's waiting to let go, and maybe eventually use a Cali in again behind with a bomb. Does not manage to kill anybody though. They did force Mankey with that double sack actually. So
yeah, I'm not sure why Mankey was sitting on the floor alone. I'm not sure if he got pushed down off the bridge or what, but it seemed like he was on his own and no one really knew about it.
It's a pretty big deal because even though again Zoo find themselves on the back foot, they do have a massive ad now, and it's gonna probably allow them to retake this mid. Milky's still holding onto that banner. He did pop it actually. I heard the trumpet earlier, so yep, there you go. He's gonna let go of it and potentially allow his team to do something here. That's not gonna work much when the enemies are invulnerable, as Aoshi did pop off his Uber, and they're gonna be retaking this middle point. Now Mankey though, getting close to his Uber again. They took very long with that, and that Uber ad faded quickly.
Yeah, I think the trading 2 soldiers for that Uber force on this map is really good because of how much space you actually have to take. I feel like if Garda wanted to refight that, they could. They were like an 80%. Decided to wait for the spawner, so instead.
Well, they do find themselves holding the second now. Obviously, they have the 40% ad. It's fast, very quickly dwindling. So they're making their way forward into this wonderful valley here, seeing if they can just in any way make use of it. As Awushi's inching closer to that Uber. Zoo also being very passive. They know that they don't really want to take this. They don't really want to force them into themselves into a fight that they can't possibly win. So they're going to be backing off to their second. Equal Ubers yet again, and Garda recap the middle point. We're 12 minutes into this map and still no rounds put onto the board. Both teams playing very, very conservatively, trying to make sure to not mess up royally.
Yeah, more just a feeling out process at the moment of it. Don't think either team wants to give up any early rounds.
Yeah, they don't want to take any risks. I mean, it is the grand final, so that's what I'm
saying.
Going for a huge bomb. Yeah, together with Slash does go down. Look, he kind of swerved throughout his bomb, so he probably assessed the situation and realized that that would not be a good idea.
Yeah, I think Milky was sent into distract, but honestly, I feel like Milky should have committed as well. So I did so much damage.
That's else down as well as now the Zoo's just moving forward into the valley here. Aoshi does pop first, slightly worse Uber from him, and he's going to be keeping his players alive. Milky, on the other hand, does die, and looks like the Zoo might be in the driver's seat for this fight, as KT does pick up Busy as well, and Mankey just barely escaping. Yeah, he also cleans up Derpy there, and at least Mankey escaped with his life, and
yeah, it's
does live.
Dropped
but
too many
only
players
barely.
in the trade and just gave up all the hate on point. So when the blue team came back in, they just completely rolled them.
So that's gonna be an easy take. Off the back of that Uber, slight ad as well for the zoo. Not much to write home about, but they're gonna be rolling this into the second as well, and we already see Garda setting up on that last point again. We find ourselves in a very familiar situation that we were in just a few moments ago, but let's see if anything has changed this time. These teams have grown a little bit. Maybe they've woken up a little bit. You know, they've grown a little bit more proactive. Maybe somebody wants to make the first move this time. That doesn't just consist of shooting in a soldier and hoping for the best. We'll
So that's
see.
just pretty deep in the lobby here.
Yeah, they are very aggressive. Being very aggressive there on the left side. Just contesting that engineer that was currently moving his sentry. Ultimately, didn't quite work, and yeah, Cal is dead as a Slash. Trying to just sack himself in, and that's basically just a hard reset switch. Both of your soldiers are dead, and both teams have a soldier down. Not much happened, ultimately, and we're back to, yet again, sitting here. I wonder how many minutes it's going to take until somebody goes to sniper again, or tries to go for another spy play here. Another cheeky one. So the way it's going right now is just people are essentially just looking at each other. We do have the conch on Cali, though, and he's probably going to be trying to build that very quickly. That could be a nice opener, as he does contest people in the lobby there. Else and Milky, ooh, both go down. That's a pretty big loss if you're holding last, and that's going to be enough for the Zoo to take win the Uber exchange. They do not do any damage to the sentry, though. They were completely, utterly overwhelmed with the situation. They do still have two-player ad, though, and decide not to do anything off of it whatsoever. They just back out of it entirely. Apparently they just did not know about the sentry position and just could not focus it down quickly enough. Jeez.
Cali may be closer to his banner now, so maybe they're starting to think of a plan for the next push now that they have information about where the gun is.
It could very well be the case. Yeah, now that they know what's going on and they're moving up on their Uber, obviously the second try could be the one, and they do have that banner advantage. That is something to not forget. You can the Contra especially also being useful to actually use during an Uber, because the speed boost is very, very nice and helpful. Allows you to get in much more quickly. Let's see if they try to use that. I don't know if he's up on his banner just yet. Probably not, considering that he's still very aggressive, trying to build, so he's gonna get there very soon. He doesn't die in an unfortunate manner. And maybe that's gonna be the opener.
So just hiding in the top left corner. He's trying to bait for a scout.
Yeah, you might just try to catch somebody off guard. That's just a little bit too aggressive here, sitting on that shelf up there. Well, we're gonna have just teams staring each other down. I think this is entirely just waiting, like the Zoo just waiting for Cali to build his banner here, and then probably gonna move in off the back of that. If they can't get a pick beforehand, naturally. Could always be. They're moving very aggressively into the far right now. Slash gets caught out entirely. Does do a lot of damage onto Tavi, though, and it's gonna actually lead to his death, as Milky just gets a nice rocket in there, and they do exchange the Ubers. That's a big thing to lose. You don't want to lose your demo before you even start your push and even have the better Uber on the defending team. That's a pretty disastrous exchange on the side of the Zoo. Honestly, even though they only lose one player during it, there's the Conjurer. This is going to be what they're going to be trying to use here to hold on to the point. Seems to be working somewhat well as two players get cleaned up, and the rest of Garda are forced to back off yet again.
Yeah, a really solid push from Milk. He actually gets 2 kills in the Uber trade, but trying to push it, I think they're just a bit too slow that the conch actually came into effect, and they completely lost that fight because of that.
Yeah, and they did take down the sentry, trying to push in there, but there's too many players again. Just not enough life force being pumped into them, and that's like 2 players down. You can't really commit to that anymore. And they're even being very careful on their hold here. Obviously, they do get the Uber first, so they're going to be using it first. Menki just now about to come up on his own, finally uses it, and he's going to be able to keep his team alive, as Vil did not manage to kill anybody.
Yeah, he did manage to get the first off, though, so they can at least hold mid. Definitely getting 1 scout spawn on mid. It'd be interesting to keep Garda take the actual fight on mid.
I really wonder, yeah, if they're going to be taking it this far. It looks like they are. Yeah, they might just do that. They're taking it very aggressively through through the valley here yet again. Lots of damage being thrown out. Scatmo being the first man to fall on the side of the zoo, and
they gave it up really easily.
Yeah, that's all they needed. They forced them out. Slash picks up Callie on the flank as well in the alley, and they're very aggressive here. They're not giving up any ground now, making sure that Zoo stays out.
I think they won the. They're thirsty for blood. You know, they could have won this round.
Yeah, they've tasted it. Oh, Tavi gets bombed down by Milky and Slash. Wonderful synchronization there. Else gets picked up, but Kitty does trade with his life for that, and that's now the Zoo suddenly, within just a few minutes, find themselves in a very poor position here, trying to hold last. The Uber does come out of both teams, and Mankey flashing a lot to keep his team alive. Same with Aoshi though, and he does have the slightly better Uber, but only slightly. Milky now finding himself as the last player in for a while. We're getting picked off. There's a level 1, besides the point, and it was enough to distract them for a while, and they do manage to kill Dizzy, was trying to cap as well. Slash just walking in now onto the point, does get cleaned up as well, and we still have Elsin, who is... I would be very surprised if he did something against the players there. He got close. Many of them had very low health.
7 health there. That's really crucial.
Single-digit health on a lot of people.
That page felt so rushed from Garda there. They jumped in and Uber traded with 2 soldiers. Like, they got the Uber force really early, but they just had no possession or health at the end of the trade.
They took it very, very quickly. And that was ultimately a little bit of a problem for them. Well, Zoo obviously not going to be letting that be told twice. They're going to be banking off of that with their slight ad as well. Huge bomb in from Slash, going sky high. Does he manage to kill? He does manage to kill Aoshi. That's a very crucial pick there. It's going to be allowing them to probably remount a pushback here, even though the Zoo do take the middle point. How long will they hold on to it for? Probably not very long, as they send their own soldiers after Mankey, who is obviously aware of his perilous state. He does die though! Oh my god!
Beautiful rocket.
Gets splashed against the fence and dies of fall damage, dropping to it. Oh my lord. That is unlucky, unfortunate, and it might just be enough to put Zoo back in the driver's seat immediately. Even though they lose middle, they will be able to definitely hold second without a doubt. I'd be surprised if they don't. Jesus Christ. Yeah, like, Garda not taking any risks here at all. They're staying on mid, they're waiting. They're giving Zoo all of the space that they have to, and Zoo will probably aggress as soon as they get this Uber up, because that's a huge ad to suddenly get. From losing your med to going back up to like 40% ad, 30% ad, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big change of the tides. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking this aggression through the valley area here. Kitty going perilously low, and Vil actually getting picked off by a sticky trap. But it might actually be enough to force them back out. So you know what? Let's not take any risks. We're down a player. We might have an Uber ad, but that's not enough. And Garda, they've immediately tasted the blood. They've noticed the change of fronts here, and they're moving back in. Milky and Slash, big bomb onto Aoshi, actually dropping him as well. Getting a Scatmo down too, and Tavi dangerously low, finally getting cleaned up as well. That's a lot of players down for the Zoo, only Callie alive, and he's obviously going to run away with his life, trying to just somehow mount a defense on the last point here, as his respawns are just now coming in. Garda obviously already on the last point. They're laying down stickies everywhere. They finally pop off their own Uber as well that they've had all this time. And that might be the first round on the board for Garda. It is indeed.
Yeah, a really good double bomb coming in from Valley. No one was actually spotting it, so the double bomb got in really clean, landing straight on Aoshi in their demo. Straight where the combo and just dropped the med instantly.
Yeah, it was wonderful to watch.
And Zoo were just not ready for that at all.
Yeah, they were out of position and they just got caught out by it very quickly. Well, that's the first round after fucking 22 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, the second round that we're headed into here. Let's see what the teams try to change about their mids this time. This last round, you know, it was very dominant for one team here. Slash going in for the high bomb together with Milky. Both sort of just soaring across the sky. Not getting much done, though. Slash just kind of chilling up on that vent now. Seeing if he can maybe aggress a little later. Getting onto Aoshi. Nice rocket. And does connect the second one, too. Cleaning him up. Leaving his medic alive with 2 scouts, one of which has just died, and Mankey being in a very perilous position, and that is it. They're dead. They could not do anything against the aggression from 3 players.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing with the first mid. One soldier from Garda goes in really quick, dies for nothing, and then the other one doesn't go in for like another 10 seconds. I feel like if they just synced up and actually commit to their bombs, they would do a lot more.
Yeah, they seem to be a little disconnected there in what they wanted to do. Milky seemed to be very adamant about going aggressive immediately and got shut down instantly. And Slash kind of just took his time. He did pull his weight during that fight, but obviously ultimately it wasn't quite enough, as the rest of his team still got wiped. So now we're finding ourselves in a situation we've seen ourselves in before. Garda holding their last point, but that doesn't say much. And they, as much as it hurts me to say this after just one round, they can kind of start playing the time. You know, we're only 6 minutes left, roughly. They can afford to play passively. And they're going to be able to do that here. Will does die immediately to the sentry, but they do take it down. And Mankey comes out with his own Uber now, as he got that just during the starting parts of that fight. And Tavi and Kelly obviously go down for it. That was very risky. They're getting scrappy, because Sue's looking to put a round on the board here with single digits left on the clock. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to just wait around like you did in the first round. So they're getting a little you know, frantic. They really wanted to make something happen here, and it's come back to bite them in the behind, as they now find themselves on their middle point with a slight overad. There's not much to write home about. And a Garda that will probably take next to no risks if it comes to this. They will be playing it very passively, knowing that, well, we don't really have to risk much. Slash does get spotted out. He could not hide up there. He does get seen. And that might be enough for Zoo to just take this aggression in. Again, Garda not taking any risks whatsoever, backing off immediately, just making sure that they want to hold on as long as possible. Callie trying to go in, does beef his jump though and gets shut down. And that's a player down for Zoo. I don't think they'll be able to push off of this just yet. Be very weird if they did.
Interesting to see if they go for a sack here. Or that's to see one of the soldiers jumping in. I'm not sure that is.
Yeah,
that's actually trade for the demo.
That's a pretty good trade, especially if you're trying to slow down the enemy team and you're in the winning seat too. You have a round up.
Yeah.
You want to slow them down. That's a very good trade. What would you do if you had to put yourself in the head of the Zoo here? What is the winning strat? Because clearly they've been struggling with busting these holds. They just could not manage to do it yet.
I think, well, anytime they send a counter sack, it seems that some of the players from Garda or Panteri are lingering in the lobby. They could maybe try a rotation play or something similar. Try and catch some of these players that they're trying to peek forward.
Yeah, I don't think that might be.
They aren't getting in clean enough for these sacks to work. At least not single man sacks.
Yeah, it's they're getting shut down too early, and they just can't get much ground on the last point before just perishing, not even making much happen. Again, Garda obviously aware of their situation, just chilling.
Yeah, it looks like they're parking the bus a lot more as well. They have a heavy as well as a gun now.
They're just chilling.
Getting to crunch time.
They know that they can afford to be passive, as Zoo take it in for the exchange, popping off first. Oshi having to flash a lot here, and just a mingling of shiny players. And ooh, he does escape with single digits, but my god, what a scary situation. Again, they didn't accomplish much with the exchange though, and every exchange they lose is just terrible. Slash just go in for the counter sack, but obviously it doesn't really accomplish much with how passive they are. Now we have Vil actually on the sniper here. Maybe this could be the play, the play that they could need. If they get him in, if they give him an angle, and he gets a crucial pick here, being very aggressive on the right side, it seems.
There's a lot of time to work with, though. Only 3 minutes left on the map.
Yeah, that's the problem. They need to make something happen quick. They need to give him an angle quickly. Kitty trying to maybe open that shutter for him, seeing if he can get an angle. It's looking bad, and they know about the sniper now, so obviously Garda being very passive, not letting him take any sort of sight lines. And that might have just been the missed opportunity. A sniper is only useful for as long as they don't know that he's there. And then all he can really be used for is zoning, and unfortunately, zoning isn't really something you need when you're trying to push a last point. As they do take it in very aggressively on the right side here. They're getting a body shot onto Slash, getting him dangerously low, but they do not manage to clean up any kills and just get forced back yet again.
Yeah, and they don't manage to get a gun either. It seems like they really, really want that gun. But with how close Maggie is, I think, like, just get through that main door, get the demo away, you can get someone in.
Fortunately, doesn't look like what they're going to be doing. Vil does go down trying to peek the left side. Just immediately mulched by the meat grinder, and they're just back to square one. 2 minutes left on the clock. It's starting to get into crunch time. It really is, and they need to find a way to bust this bunker because, goddamn, it's definitely a bunker that is set up here. Slash actually on the spy, just spy checking, you know, making sure that no fancy, no funny business is going on. But this is a bunker that they have to break, and they try again by Ubering through the main here. They actually do take down a sentry, but at what cost? An exchange is not going to be very useful. The only takedown is the automated player that doesn't even really do much. And they're going to be trying to take it in for the post-super fight now into the far left corner. Fast rotation might be enough. They do pick up Milky early and actually put a round on the board. Nobody walked onto the point to defend. Yeah. Everybody was just very far back. Unbelievable.
So they came out of the Eber, after the Eber and killed Milky straight away, and I'm imagining Milky must be the player on Garda that's set to jump the point in these last votes, because no one else on Garda even reacted to the scouts running the point.
Yeah, they just stepped onto the point, and ultimately that's what you need to do. Who needs to kill players on Nasma? You can just play the objective. And that's what worked for them. Well, finally we find ourselves in the third round, probably the final one. I'd be surprised if we see another one. Be surprised if this ends as well, but 1 minute left on the clock. Let's see what these teams do on the third mid. Again, Zoo being a lot more aggressive and taking their ground here early before Garda finally decide to move in as well. The Soldiers not bombing as early this time, and Kali and Scatmo both go down for their troubles. Kitty finding a kill onto Derpy there, though. The demo down on the side of Garda. Pretty crucial pick to get, but it's going to be enough to force the Zoo back. If they want to convert this round, though, they're going to be moving. They're going to want to be moving very, very quickly, and I mean they're going to be trying. Exchange happening here in the wonderful lobby area. Players are staring each other down as the clock ticks down the final seconds of the round, and I doubt much will happen from it, but we'll see. Maybe.
Milky.
They can try. Yeah, they tried. It didn't quite work. Well, I guess we're going to be headed into a golden cap then. On the first map already. Players taking it very seriously. I like it. I like to see this fierce competition. Very, very nice. Well, let's see. Let's see what they try to do here. Let's see if it's going to be another 20-minute long round or not. Players not wanting to take any risks whatsoever. My lord.
Yeah, the Golden Cap's gonna be pretty interesting as well because they changed the rules shit, haven't they? So it's a 15-minute timer.
Right. Yeah, there's actually a time limit
when you
on
think
those now.
about this game, with the Zoo having a lot of the map control because of pretty solid mids, it's gonna be quite interesting because they were stuck on Garda's last, trying to push for at least 4 or 5 attempts. They couldn't really convert.
They actually managed to figure out maybe how to convert those pushes. It could be everything. It could be everything that they need.
I think the mid's going to be really crucial as well because Garda definitely looked a bit stronger in that last mid. Seemed way more coordinated.
They seem to have wisened up on how to approach these mids on Metalworks, and that's gonna be scary for the Zoo. But let's see what they do on these on this golden cap coming up. I feel like either team could take it. Honestly, I would not be able to make an educated guess. We saw obviously a strong start by Garda, despite being stuck on their last for a long time. They just rolled into that first round, but then Zoo had a quick response. So I don't know. Both teams taking their time to get warmed up, get into the game, and now it's really just anybody's game. It really just depends on how.
Like both teams have the same problems. They're really slow in these transitions. They can never really snowball the advantages they get.
We don't see a lot of momentum. Yeah, we don't see a lot of momentum coming out of either team. They slow down very, very quickly. But let's see. See if they manage to maybe change that. Maybe it's going to be a very quick round. Maybe we're just talking out of our asses, and they're going to beat this round within 2 minutes, and it's going to be a done deal. Who knows?
It'd be classic, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would be great as well. Well, here we go. We're getting started. Headed into the golden cap of the first map of this Div 2 Grand Final. Both teams obviously trying their absolute best to not lose it, but We'll see. We'll see which one is victorious and not losing. I like calling it not losing instead of winning because it sounds more motivational. Okay, let's see how they approach this. Tavi and Derpy again, pretty equal in their rollout this time around. Nobody seemingly a lot slower, but Garda playing passively in Valley yet again, and Zoo having a lot of control early on the mid. Slashing out, deciding to bomb in a little bit together with Milky, the serpentining DNA helix, and they do get onto Aoshi, as well as the rest of the team just collapsing onto the Zoo. Oh my lord!
Like I said, Garda in that last mid were looking really good, and just even better this mid. The soldier bomb was incredible.
Yeah,
really
they had
down like the entire combo, and then just all the position in the world.
Down. They had it down so quickly, and they're just gonna be rolling it into last year, hopefully. I mean, they still haven't capped second yet, but they're being very aggressive far forward, trying to make sure that nobody on the Zoo gets any fancy, funky ideas. Because after wiping on that mid, they did kill Mankey at the very least, so they will be able to slow down Garda. But for what? For how much? That's the real thing. How much are they going to be able to slow them down? Because at this point, it's just
like a
whichever team. Yeah, they might just be able to dry push. His Wilt was still dead for the longest time. They're not going to let them build up any sort of sentry. Slash does go down, but Kali also pays with his life, and the entirety of the Zoo now kind of finding themselves bunched up behind the point there, and Garda just walk on. Tavi gets taken down as well, and Scatmo gets taken down, and that's it. That's a converted round. Right there.
Yeah.
As I said, 2-minute round.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that last push was interesting. Like, to actually dry push like that, you could tell the Zoo were not ready for that. They had no all classes, and then as soon as the bomb came in, they all gave up the possession and just went on the floor.
They just expected to... They just expected to be able to, oh yeah, we're just gonna do the standard thing like we did in the first round for 20 minutes. We're just gonna be sitting here building our Uber and gonna be trying to make that work. But ultimately, obviously, that didn't quite work out. As we do have some logs of that game as well, at least of the main game. Looking pretty interesting. Something that sticks out to you immediately.
Yeah, like I said in the pregame, Milky's doing work. On these trades, he was getting multiple kills when they weren't trading. Like on the mids, I saw him, he'd either air shot him to someone or he'd get a 2k, and he's going 22 for 10, so that's absolutely huge for a pocket.
Yeah, something that sticks out to me in general as well is just like the overall low damage output because of how stalemated the game was. It very easily resembled. Nobody was really shooting anybody for the longest time.
Yeah,
obviously it's been a very slow game.
Credit back to Milky as well. He's got 70 more damage a minute than the next person on the server. That's pretty significant.
That is significant. As a roamer, I believe. Nonetheless, that's quite something. But yeah, other than that, pretty slow game, pretty uneventful.
Yeah,
the medics
really low medic deaths. I think Aoshi had a pretty solid game as well, multiple times where he was getting bombed and he's below 50 health and holding
Uber. He was
very,
very elusive, very slippery. Definitely, he survived a lot more than he should have probably.
Yeah, makes you wonder about the kind of cracks in the flank of the Zoo. Maybe Garda able to punish that more on Gullywash.
Who knows? Gullywash is a lot more of a familiar map for people in Europe, because we've only been playing Metalworks for like what, 2 seasons now? 1?
I don't even know.
It's actually just the first one now, and Gully obviously a mainstay. People are going to be much more experienced on this map, so going to be a lot more solid. Maybe a lot of the mistakes we saw coming out on Metalworks were due to the inexperience with the map, considering that people probably don't play it much.
Yeah, both teams definitely looked a bit timid and a lot of their pushes and weren't exactly sure how they wanted to take a pace.
That might also be why there was such a huge stalemate for the longest time. Nobody wanted to make any mistakes, wanted to give the enemy any opportunities, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how they're going to try to punish it. You have no idea what to do, how to effectively counter some certain strategies. And Gullywash, everybody knows kind of what they're doing. It's a very good baseline, so probably going to be
I definitely feel like the pace of these fights will be a lot faster when they begin.
Once they got a little bit more familiar, a little bit more safe with, and like accomplished with what they want to do here. Well, let's see how Gully's gonna go. Do you have any immediate guesses? Just from what happened on the last game, how this might go.
It's hard to really predict because I feel like both teams have really strong players in this map. The Zoo, like Tavi, is an absolute titan on demo. But on the side of Garda, they have their shoulder combo can be really, really strong on this map. I played both these teams on both these maps.
Yeah. It's a good call. I mean, Milky, obviously, we saw him put down amazing work already just on Metalworks alone, and God knows what he's going to do here. Maybe, just maybe, it's going to be even.
I think that if Garda can really shut down Tavi and get a lot of that early aggression, like we've been seeing on the mid from the last map, I feel like they're gonna win or like be really dominant for the first half of this map.
Yeah, and then once the zoo adjusts, obviously things are going to be looking a little bit different. But yeah, I think that's a good call. Yeah, I think we would probably see Garda be pretty dominant for the first little bit until the zoo decide to adjust and switch up their strategies a little bit. Maybe decide, hey, let's do something so that they can't just absolutely destroy us every single time. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they truly try to do. Something that also I also want to be paying close attention to, obviously, is if there is a stalemate, how these teams try to break it. Because on the last map, they certainly didn't try a lot of wonky stuff, wacky stuff, whatever you want to call it. We saw like a spy once, and that was about it. So Gullywash, it has some notorious stalemates. When you've ever watched a 7 game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So maybe if it gets to that stage, I want to see some snipers. I love seeing the snipers. I always do.
Yeah, I'm not sure who snipes for Garda, but I know that the Zoo have a pretty strong sniper. I think both Village and Scatmore are decent snipers on this team, so maybe do see the snipers re-sniper gameplay.
Especially if it's on a map like this, where people are more familiar. They know which angles they can take, which angles they can try to peek. And like on Metalworks, where it's a lot more cramped and claustrophobic. But we'll see. Well, if you had to put out a score guess for this game, because it's probably going to be really close. But what do you think? What would you spitball?
I've got to say, probably, I think about 3-2 to Garda. I think they're going to close it out. They'll have a really strong first half, and then kind of struggle a bit more in the second half. I think the Zoo will start to read them, but I don't think they'll be able to close it out.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I would have definitely gone with like a one difference between the score lines as well. I don't think we're going to see either team utterly roll the other. That would be ridiculous. Like a 3-2 seems reasonable, or something like a 2-1 or something like that seems possible. If the pace of the game picks up a little bit, we're going to see higher numbers on that scoreline. But I think I'm also going to have to go with Garda personally. Like after what I've seen, like after they got a little more into the game, a little warmed up last map, it seems after that first warm up period, they really got rolling. And then if they're going to keep that up, then I think we're going to see them take this map as well. Obviously, I'd love to see Zoo take it, so we're headed into a third one, so we get to see more great gameplay. But yeah, can't ever make wishes until they come true.
I think the medics are going to shine through a bit more on this map as well, because combined last map the medics had 7 deaths combined, so I think on this map with one med's getting really really struck out every single mid, it's going to be completely different.
Yeah, it's going to make a big difference. Obviously, also again with the positioning, right? Again, because teams have much more experience on this map, medics are going to be knowing a little bit better where to stand. On Metalworks, it's kind of like, okay, I don't really know exactly. At least I personally. I mean, obviously, I'm a scrub anyway, but whatever. I personally wouldn't necessarily know where exactly I should be. I've played my fair share of Gullywash. Like even if I were to play medic now, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I know mostly where I should be. Metalworks, I'd be a lost child in a mall somewhere. I have no idea what the hell I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's a bit less claustrophobic on Metalworks, so you can see things coming from a lot earlier. With this map, you walk out and choke, you could keep getting triple bombs. You never know.
Yeah, that is true. It's very, very close in that choke. People around every corner sitting up on some weird ledges. Not much of that on Metalworks either, that is true. Let's hope they decide to get started soon, because I want to see people play. That'd be nice. I'm running out of ideas on what to talk about. Let's do a cosmetic check. Cosmetic check. Let's see who these players benefited from the unusual bug. That was a thing that people did.
I already see a Sunbeams heavy hat. What is this?
That is true. I wonder if that one's legitimate. God knows. I didn't actually unbox any crates, believe it or not. Mostly because when it was happening, I was still asleep, but also because I don't need unusuals. And I find it hilarious about how people are upset now that they didn't get to unbox any unusuals for free, essentially. What a weird bug.
Yeah.
I don't know how that could ever happen to this game. Surprised to see the lack of unusual. I guess people have still realized that having a shiny hat is not the best idea if you don't want to get spotted. I think people realize that, caught onto that pretty quickly. They realize, oh yeah, you know, if you have that shiny beacon on your head, it might be a bit difficult to hide. Makes you a prime target sometimes. All right, let's see what these teams are going to be doing though. On our second map of the Div 2 Grand Finals, Gullywash. Seen some great plays so far, seen some great gameplay so far. Let's hope that continues. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll hope that it continues as well. Yeah. Let's see. I'm curious. I'm excited. I'm excited to see flying soldiers. I want to see more of that coordination because when Slash and Milky, when they coordinated their bombs, it was actually beautiful to watch because it was so devastating, right? Completely, utterly destroying the combo at times. I want to see more of that. I really want to see more of that.
I really think the Garda soldiers are going to be really, really impactful in these mids.
They play their cards right. They go at the exact right time and just catch Zoo off guard. They might just be able to swing the mid in their favor all by themselves. Because those coordinated bombs are they're the make or break deal here, really. As the game is finally getting started, let's see what we are going to be looking at here for the first round of our Gullywash mid of the finals. Both teams slowly making their way, both demos opting to go through the standard choke, and Cali being very fast to go under, as is Slash just a little bit later. Again, Zoo, lots of actually playing a little more passively this time. Okay, Mankey does go down early though to Cali, who just went up drop down. Huge bomb coming in from the Garda soldiers as well. Just as we were saying, the bomb comes in and destroys the entirety of Zoo's combo. Tavi playing himself as the last person alive.
One soldier went high, one soldier went low, so the Zoo combo had no idea where to look and just completely separated all of them, and they got destroyed.
They did have Cali though go up the drop down, and he did pick up Mankey again.
Yeah,
Seems to be the salvaging plays as always, just like it happened on the Golden Cap as well in the previous map, where they at least managed to pick off the medic on the side of Garda, but it's not enough to really cling onto the round very long, because naturally if you wipe on mid, you know, you're going to be forced to onto your last point. Slash trying to go in there, just make something happen, gets shut down. Absolutely denied. Now Cali trying to respond with a sack of his own. Does not get much down either, and finding ourselves at a nice, equal stalemate yet again.
I like the pace and that counter attack from Cali though, like being that quick when they're not set up, it's like makes it a bit easier, but unfortunately they just had two scouts coming through the door at that one time.
And that's just a death sentence when you're a soldier caught out with only like one rocket in your clip. You can't really do much, unfortunately. Let's see how Garda try to bust open his last hold on the side of Zoo. No wacky stuff yet, no wacky shenanigans, obviously. But Dizzy already going beyond the water here with Slash as well. Obviously, Zoo are aware of that. Slash trying to just, make sure that he's a little bit safer there. And we'll see if Dizzy at least just make something like happen. Even if he just steps on the point for a bit, that little bit of cap time that he's going to be getting right now. He's actually just going to walk onto the point, gets shoved off, obviously, as Slash gets shut down as well.
Yeah, I think he tried to jump point to help his scout, but he just jumped straight on the gun, basically.
Didn't quite work out. But, that little bit of cap time, that is something that you can play around. As the Uber trade does come out. I think Ayoshi did get forced, because he tried to keep his players alive.
I think Mankey might have tried to save them. I'm not sure that was the right decision from Garda there, to be honest.
They probably didn't have to use their Uber there, yeah. They went for the exchange anyway, and I mean, it happened. But they could have probably held on to it, kited that Uber a little bit more, maybe lost the player at best, or at worst, and then pushed us with an Uber. But we're gonna be seeing ourselves in yet another equal hold situation here. We've got to be being kind of passive, actually.
Yeah,
not
really
taking any risks.
Maybe they think there's a bigger ad for some reason.
Even though they just exchanged, that is a weird thing to think. If you just exchanged, why would there be a massive ad on either side. Well, I mean, and then again, why would Zoo ever push out of their loss to begin with? I don't think you see people do that very often when you're in an equal situation.
Yeah,
You never know.
I kind of don't like the fact they're so slow because like they still only have a level 2 on the Zoo here. I feel like if Garda were a bit faster, they could have done something.
They're giving them a lot of time, and the longer they give Zoo to set up their defenses here, the longer, or much less time they have when it comes to actually pushing. So they're now being a little aggressive here in the river. We're going to be looking to probably take it in, maybe off the back of some sort of aggression through the main areas. Because they're just tinging their bets. Okay, they do pop in early. They're going to be trying to take down the gun, maybe. Trying to get some damage on it. They finally take it down, but that pyro doing a lot of work out of the side of the hill. He's just denying it for so long, and they just couldn't do anything there. And obviously Oshi didn't even have to use there. He held onto his own Uber for all that time. Milky does go down, trying to stack in, and yeah, it's gonna be the Zoo now trying to push out as most of Garda finds themselves in big door. Slash trying to bomb in a little bit, maybe seeing if he can get something done. Oshi just beautifully surfing that away, and back into the saving grace of his demo man. That's gonna be a second point recaptured by the Zoo, and they stabilize. They stabilize a little bit. They still have a big ad as well, and they might be even able to take it into mid. Obviously, Garda aware of this, mostly holding pretty passively, taking no huge risks at all, and backing off immediately at the sign of any sort of opposition, as they should. I would have been surprised if they didn't.
Trying to push some momentum here as well.
Yeah, they're definitely rolling forward quite a lot. They use early. Mankey does get his Uber though, and it turns into an exchange.
The whole team leaving there. Yeah, if they were like 2 seconds faster, they could have probably dropped Mankey there. He was like 99 as they were coming in. Just seconds too late.
Took a little bit too long, but I like the momentum that they were trying to roll off of there.
Yeah.
Capturing mid, just leaving a single.
If they had such a clean take into like second and mid, I don't blame them for trying to push on that momentum there. They could have made it work.
They'd gotten a little bit luckier and a little bit better.
Yeah, just saying, like a lot of seconds, just the difference there.
It's a very give or do or take situation. Well, we have found ourselves though with Zuna holding the middle point. Pretty equal situation in terms of Ubers, making with a very slight ad. They're not going to push off of. I would be very surprised if they did. And yeah, let's see how these teams try to bust open this hold. Very much aggression here on the Zoo when it comes to choke. They're probably going to be looking to go there. I'd be surprised they suddenly change their mind. But then again, things do happen. And yeah, they're probably just going to be waiting. Like, maybe someone's going to go for the sack here. Maybe someone's going to decide, okay, I need you to be the opening player here, as Garda rotate over to the big door.
Kelly jumps in.
And yeah, Kelly jumps in. Does not find anything. Kitty, I mean, sorry. Pardon me. Yeah, does not find anything as Garda just rotated over to the big door. So the combo nowhere to be found. And Scap also going down on the flank here. 2 players down on the side of the Zoo. They probably can't afford to be very aggressive here now. And Garda obviously immediately taking ground. Milky getting sent into the sky.
Oh my god!
And absolutely nutted. My lord. Well, the exchange does come out on both teams here as the Uber fight does break out with Milky down, still missing. Kitty finally getting taken down, and Scapmo as well as the Uber fades.
Whoa, the Zoo just crumbled hard.
And yeah,
Callie and a really nice pipe onto Callie, or on Milky there. Milky actually jumps into a trap and gets an air play from Tabby, but because they're so like passive, waiting for them to come in, they actually lose a trade because of that. There's so much possession for Garda on mid that they don't really lose anyone in the post-Uber fight.
They took a lot more ground there, and they just had the easy route to take that post-Uber fight. So we find ourselves very familiar situation. We were here a few moments ago. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point. Again, Garda trying to push the last of the Zoo. Zoo is setting up a sentry already, and Slash doing a little bit of spy checking. Maybe actually no, he's not even. He's actually gonna go commit to the spy. Ooh, okay. Let's see what he tries to do here. I don't think Zoo will be very aware of this. They do have the pyro and the NG off class, and you know they could have a little bit of spy checking, but Selection is
see if they do like a point play or any sort of distraction to do as well, because they did try the point play earlier, but they didn't go for a sack. They just tried to put 2 people on point.
Yeah, maybe they'll like try to send a scout in here or something. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Slash is in position. He's probably called that he's in position. He's called that he's in, and maybe Garda will try to provide a little bit of a distraction play for him, or maybe they'll just wait for him to do something. Oh my god, I think he bumped Scatmo actually, and got spotted out. That's unfortunate. At least Scatmo must have bumped him there as he was in the corner and found him. That's unfortunate, because if he wasn't found, that could have worked very, very well for them. But naturally, it didn't quite work out.
Cali got a huge rocket onto Mankey, but Mankey does a really, really nice surf from backdoor and surf all the way back into mid, basically.
Unfortunate. It was a nice try, nice attempt to try to follow up a little bit with a counter sack of his own, but ultimately didn't work. Maybe Garda will try to aggress here a little bit with Cali still down. Probably not, because he's about to spawn, but they'll try to see what they can do. And trying to spam down that sentry, obviously that's not going to work when you've got a pyro right-clicking on all of your wonderful projectiles. So it looks like they might just do what they did before and Uber in through river again, with both soldiers already bound up there, one finally backing off. Maybe they'll just take it in through river again. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, again, just trying to spam down the sentry from all kinds of angles, but the pyro's just shutting it down.
Go main, because they can sit where he is and deny both Balkan and river, but if he goes from main, he has to turn his crosshair a bit more. He can always get rocket in.
Right now, even with the balcony and river split, like that's pretty much the same angle for the pyro to look at.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be working very well. And then again, main is shut down quite a lot too. It's a tough angle to spam the sentry at. You can't really do much unless you push, unfortunately. And maybe they'll try that. They do send 2 players. Actually, they send 3 players with the medic. The entire combo goes under, and they step onto the point now. Not popping off just yet as Milky goes dangerously low, and they actually do get flanked by Cali and lose Dizzy. But
yeah, that's really nice read from Cali there.
That's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate thing for Garda to find themselves in. They lose that Uber, and that might be enough for the Zoo to take it out, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They're taking the lobby, and slowly but surely, and they're probably going to be trying to take the second.
I'm interested to see if they take the Uber into them. I'm not sure if they actually know who the combo is.
They probably don't. That's the thing. They might have just now become aware. They are taking very, very long. Kitty, nice air shot onto Slash there, cutting him down, but ultimately, very slow play by the Zoo. Maybe they'll speed up. They still know that they have a pretty big ad here, and Garda again, you know, having to be very passive, especially with a player down. They can't afford to take any risks, and Zoo are going to be doing exactly that. They're going to be taking a risk by finally capping a goddamn point.
Yeah, it seems like the Milan is just going to even out soon. Just had to slow it down a bit.
Yeah, they don't want to find themselves in a situation they did like a few minutes ago, you know, where they try to momentum forward into second and then lose the Uber exchange because Mankey just now gets his Uber. So yeah, we're going to be taking it a little bit more slowly here. Do get Cali into big door as he finds Slash in lobby and gets chased down by Dizzy as well. Let's see if he does anything. Or just is a distraction, you know, he might just be a distraction that is somewhere up there behind and
he's trying to
works
walk
out.
in that position though.
Does trade with Slash, at the very least.
The space a choke as well. Zero try to peek it, but same to not commit.
Yeah, and actually, Garda being aggressive and taking it through choke, just taking down Tavi and putting Scatmo very, very, very low before he meets up back with his team. That pick on Tavi was really what just allowed Garda to get in there.
Yeah,
the demo was left alone.
Just a tad too aggressive and misread the situation. Actually ended up getting caught at choke there.
Essentially left alone in choke with a scout,
Yeah.
and you just can't do anything when you've got the healing coming through by Garda. So yeah, they could easily retake that, and now they have to try to maybe push second here instead. Very aggressive in big door with Garda
He's
already.
actually behind on last.
Interesting, yeah, he is. He's just fighting Cali. He's the distraction now and just seeing what he can do. Maybe deny a little bit of time here. He's just, yeah, that's essentially just what he's doing. He's just being a nuisance. And having a player behind is always a scary thing. But here's here's where it gets interesting for the Zoo. Yeah, Garda has a player behind, but that means there's no player in front of them. So if they move quickly enough, they could just essentially push off of one player. Especially now that Slash is dead too, and Milky is in, trying to make something happen, but
huge
will probably die.
As well.
This might just be enough, absolutely.
Yeah, it's an absolute crumble from Garda there. I'm not sure it's last time, but I think Milky was trying to make space to choke and then just got completely played by his combo. And then when he tried to come back in, Kitty jumped the choke and got another kill.
Slash trying to do a cheeky sniper forward spawn play, doesn't quite work out in his favor. And yeah, it's just gonna be Zoof rolling forward now. Onto the second as well. Gonna be looking to.
I think we're on the Garda's last for the first time, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we are actually. First time we've gone this far. See how they try to break this hole. Maybe they figured out the formula. Maybe they have all.
Yeah, this seems to be a bit better in these stalemates.
All the pieces aligned.
Plan.
So let's see what they try to do here. Again, a lot of players in river. Maybe they were looking to take it in through there for a moment, but they ultimately decide against it. Tavi left alone in lobby and just gets cleaned up by Milky. He's decided to walk forward. He might also clean up Scatmo. You know, he's not going to be able to do that just yet. And he does get killed by the 2 scouts, but Garda just moving forward into lobby here for main. For Shutter.
Really weak. Lose your slash.
Jeez.
No soldiers outside of Garda. That's pretty huge for this map.
That is. Milky does spawn soon, but that's going to be an Uber coming in from Zuder. Oshi popping off early. Mankey now responding with an Uber on his own as well. The sentry does get taken down ultimately, but Kali does die first. Past the Uber, Vil was already dead. And it wasn't really a very eventful push, unfortunately. Zoo couldn't make much happen. They didn't know where the sentry was, and they took too long to kill it, and already lost the player before the push started. It just didn't work.
Well.
Just wasn't like it's like you're trying to brew a cocktail and you just take the worst ingredients and then try to make a push off of it. It just like everything that could go wrong went wrong, essentially. Even if not terribly wrong. I mean, they can still hold on to their mid here perfectly fine, but they do lose second off the bat of that and off the back of that, and that's obviously not something you like seeing when you're 15 minutes into the first round and nothing has happened in terms of score. So yeah, it's another slow game. Both teams not looking to take any risks, but we're seeing at least a little bit more aggressive play overall. Seeing a little bit more of an exchange. You know, the stamens don't last as long. Let's see how each team tries to break this. Slash just walking forward through mid. Through choke, it actually does get onto Tavi. My God, just no fear. He held the W key and just kills him. Now Mankey popping off his Uber. Oshi finally responding with one of his own, taking it in with Vil. He's gonna be trying to maybe clean up some players here if he can.
They're really overextending for this though.
They really are. They really try to. Scatmo finally meeting up with them as well. They do take down L's.
It's a scrappy fight, but doesn't in fact go in the way of Garda.
Doesn't in fact work out. Vil just couldn't clean up the kills quickly enough. Was trying very, very desperately, but he just couldn't do it. And that's gonna be yet another fight won for Garda off of the post-Uber exchange, essentially.
I think the big thing was that the Zoo chased on the second, whilst there's still a player on mid that hadn't died. He just left Scatmo to 1v1 him. It's like, even though he kills him, it took so long that chasing wasn't worthwhile. If they just got that pick on mid, they could have maybe done something as a more coordinated unit.
Speaking of coordinated unit, we've got both soldiers on Garda jumping in through the choke again and taking out Tavi immediately, also getting onto Oshi. Wonderfully done. And both of them still alive, by the way. None of them have been taken down. The entire team back there to just back them up as well. Just forcing the Zoo to back out with no demo, no medic. Find themselves under loss. A full ad for Garda. If that's not the stars aligning, I don't know what is. This might be all they need. They can take this in as slowly as they want, really. They don't have to go very fast.
I don't want to see them rush this. Get some information, do it properly. They've been struggling on the last pushes on both maps so far.
Yeah, this looks like what they're going to be doing as well. They know that they can take their time now with no Uber at all risk whatsoever on the side of Oyoshi. The sentry just now getting set up. They probably already know where that one is. They finally Uber in through river early just to make sure that the sentry does not face any issues. And yeah, they're going to be walking on to this point. Finally, Zoo responding. Ooh. Both scouts stayed taken down immediately. The crumble on the point, my lord.
Huge from Derby Hoops there. I guess like a 4K off a trap on point.
That was really, really big damage coming out. And that's the first round for Garda.
I wonder if we see a repeat of the last map and see another late and fast round.
I would not mind seeing that. Headed into the second round here now. Let's see if these teams decide to switch up their strategies or if we see an identical mid to the previous one. Slash bombing in a little bit earlier, this time getting onto Tavi early, and does not manage to clean up the damage though, and does go down early with Callie getting onto Derpy. Derpy just surfing it out of there, and he's still alive somehow. He does not die. Meanwhile, Kitty and Tavi both get taken down though, and Derpy finally dying, but Jesus Christ, he lived for way too long. I was watching him just evading everything like it's a bullet hell game, and he lived for far too long. He should have died way sooner. It's gonna be enough for Zoo to take the mid and roll forward into second as well, with Garda already pouched up on the top here, seeing if they can maybe hold on to this point for a little bit. They do pop out their Uber first, as Aoshi doesn't even find himself close to one just yet. Gonna be chasing him through choke, and he's getting pretty low. Oh, he does live.
Huge.
He does live. That's a huge ad now, yeah.
Pretty damn good this game. A few times that's happened.
He's just too elusive, and he does actually live. He does take it in through the choke as well, and that's gonna just be Zoo essentially taking this point for free. They did have to Uber to get through, but they killed 4 players.
Yeah.
And,
seems like Garda really didn't want to have them on last with Uber to this disadvantage.
They really don't. So they're gonna be holding on here. It looks like
a spy?
Vil is gonna be playing the spy. Interesting. I mean, Garda might very well not be aware of it. They only have a heavy up as well. Actually, heavy decided
looks like
to
they want
swap
to push
off
on the ad, or at least try it. So this might actually work.
This might be a very unfortunate time for Vil to be a spy if Garda actually move forward very quickly. Oh no, he's just gonna backcap. Or he's gonna try to at least. Does he get dizzy though? He does not. He does die. Nice attempt.
He buys so much time though. Yeah, he wins up the Ubers just by doing that.
Definitely, yeah. And they force Mankey. He just jumps in and forces Mankey. He just slips through and forces Mankey, and Aoshi again finding himself with a full ad now. He's gonna be popping his Uber off. Taking it forward. Milky's still just chilling on second, capping. He's finally getting contested a little bit, but Sledge comes in to help out, and Callie has to try to do something. Sledge is now just chilling there. You know, Milky died. Sledge is just gonna try to cap. Okay, he finally shut down the caps there. Jesus Christ. He was sitting up there for so long, just uncontested. During that entire exchange, he was just chilling up on second. Nobody was doing anything about him.
Yeah, it seemed like the combo kind of got misguided about what they wanted to do. They wanted to block, and then he saw the combo, and they decided to go for the combo instead of just slowing it down, keeping control.
Well, we do see a very, very, very scrappy entrance here. Or maybe it's just, you know, it's an intended 3-man sack by the Zoo here, trying to get onto Lost. Just, you know, lay down some damage. They do pick up Derpy, which is going to buy them a little bit of time, but they're obviously going to have to be very passive here onto the second point, and Garda going to be rolling forward, trying to take this point as well. Both medics find themselves on an Uber now, and both are going to be popping it off immediately as well. Do not want to take any risk or lose any of their players.
An interesting trade. Nice air shot there from Milky.
Yeah, Kitty just getting absolutely denied of any ground that he wanted to take, and they essentially just swapped the points back and forth pretty much immediately.
Yeah, like that could have gone either way for either team. It's just like that first soldier got in so clean. That's like so much damage to the combo. They just had to force him out. Yeah, so he gets instant picks because of it.
Well, find ourselves yet again. This time the Zoo pushing Lost yet again, and let's see what they try to do here. They do have a little bit of an ad again. Vil trying to go spy. Maybe this time it will work. This time they won't see it coming. Slash is spy checking though, so they'll probably be aware of him.
Yeah,
so
I already going crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they're... Well, Vil is already in. And he's already behind the point, but they are aware of him being about, so they won't take many risks when it comes to...
Maybe trying to do a point play and see the Tavi stucking point here.
No, it didn't quite work. Didn't quite work out, did it? When Derpy has his own stickies.
That goes down.
Yeah, Callie tries to jump on a point as well, get a little bit more cap time. Yeah, I actually got a lot out of it. And I don't think they're going to be trying to throw themselves at the point for the rest of this. Slash trying to cut off the combo. Does not manage to do so, unfortunately. But yeah, Garda again, they know that they have one round up. They don't really want to take any risks here. They're already porched up on Lost. They've already built their bunker. Why demolish it when you can just wait? And that's what's it going to be doing. They're just gonna wait for the zoo to throw something at them, and then they're gonna try to respond
It
as
looks
best
like
as they
they're
can.
expecting another point play, because that's like with the gun, but they moved it in a spot, they can actually get spammed down.
They're actually gonna move it a little bit, yeah. Well, they're gonna have to move it as it got destroyed, but yeah. That's gonna be enough for Kitty to jump in. Kitty's just gonna jump in onto the point, get a lot of cap time as well, with the sentry only being a level 1. Couldn't really deny him. Callie also trying to go for a sack. Does not.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like, Kelly had a really nice bomb, got like a lot of damage onto Mankey, but I think if Kitty also went for Mankey, would have got the 4s. They both had such nice bombs in.
They really did. No, yeah. Garda just gonna be. Ooh. They're just gonna be Ubering a single scout in. I don't know what happened there.
Hard for this,
They're really trying, and it's gonna be punished, absolutely, with the entirety of Garda just coming back. But they were trying to push out Garda up top. They were already on second, but Dude just took it in through lower, seeing if they could maybe get through.
I think Derby Hughes was there, completely shut it down, forces them early, gets a kill. That seems to be like more of a desperation play though from the zoo here. Makes you wonder if they may be getting a little bit unsettled in the Mumble.
If they're feeling like the burn, they're feeling the time burn, we're getting into the 5-minute range, it's getting a little heated. You want to make a play, you want to at least stay in the game somehow, because if you lose this, you lose the final. You don't really want to do that, obviously. Garda's just going to be rolling forward again. They have the big ad. They're going to be rolling forward onto mid here, just taking all the space that Zoo have to give up for free, and making it kind of quickly, surprisingly fast actually. They're rolling forward in just second too.
At least both sorters for Garda.
Both sorters for Garda now.
In this fight, it's going to become completely different.
Yeah, if Aoshi does get his Uber up here, which he probably will, he's getting pretty close. Mankey forced back off. He actually gets dropped. Scatmo does slip through, and he kills Derpy as well. Ah, that's huge. Huge flank by Scatmo there.
Els is on the mid.
And Els is on the mid. He does not get anything. Aoshi again, just so slippery. So slippery, does not die. And that's going to be good enough for Zoo here. Yeah, they're going to be taking this mid, probably rolling it forward in the second.
Flanking them. Could maybe get Aoshi here. We'll see. Also, he's going to be just too slow.
Don't seem to be aware of him just yet, and he's taking it very slowly as well. Okay, he does get spotted out before he can really get much done, and nobody dies either. Yeah, they're gonna be taking it forward again. The quicker they move here, the better their chances are, because Mankey is nowhere near an Uber just yet. So if they roll in, they do indeed use an early, and they try to make something happen here. Slash still dead, just now respawning. Heavy comes out though. Milky and Dizzy both taken down. Aoshi does go down though, and Callie and Kitty and Scatmo and Villa also dead. It's only Tavi left. He's trying to get some damage onto the point, but Mankey and Slash, it's too much trying to deal. And Mankey, he survived that entire exchange. He just went into spawn and lived.
Yeah, it was looking really, really good for the zoo. But once again, I feel like they're so panicked on trying to push on ad that they just rush it and don't actually control the end of the fight.
They just give up good positioning and stuff like that, yeah. Kitty and Vil going down early here. Callie, though, he is a spy, and he's trying to go in behind.
Yeah, it looks like they know. Yeah, it seems like the desperation is really setting in for the zoo now.
They're really trying to get something to work, and it's unfortunately none of it is working. They're throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall, and nothing's sticking. And Garda just have a response for everything, rolling it forward again, just playing their game. They're in control. They're in absolute control of the map now. They're in the driver's seat. They decide where this game goes, and Zoo just have to see what they can do. They're running out of options. There's 2 minutes left, and they have to put a round on the board if they want to stay in this final. If they want to stay, just even having a chance at victory. Really, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for them.
Be interested to see what the plans from the zoo are here, how they're going to approach these trades, or if they're going to just do like a 2-man sack or whatever. Because they definitely have to start making moves.
Yeah, they're going to need something big, that's for sure. No matter what they try to come up with, they're going to need something bold, something big, because they need to get in here. They need to roll this, basically. If they want to have a chance at winning, they need to just roll this all the way through, dominate these next few exchanges and fights. Because otherwise, it's not looking too hot for them. Kitty trying to go in, does trade with Els, but at what cost? Is it really worth trading a scout for a soldier? Probably not. So, yeah. Again, Garda also being very aggressive, but just to answer this exchange, really, as the Uber does come out with both scouts from the zoo, but
Yeah, there's a pretty
Garda
sick
just
trade from the zoo here. They actually managed to get onto the flank really nicely. But Aoshi is completely out of position now that the scout's dead.
yeah, he's just left alone with his scouts having died, and that's an unfortunate place to find yourself in. And it's going to lead to the rest of his team probably going down as well, as Tavi's already died, and it's only Scabmo and Kitty, both of which are going to get taken down.
Yeah,
There now.
I would have liked to see the flank from the zoo there getting really, really fast. Like, as soon as the Uber got a kill on the skate on mid, like, they needed to be in. Because they weren't in, they just got completely sandwiched in between the combos and got rolled.
The Garda combo just cleaned up everything behind,
Yeah.
and they were just cut off. Just 2 scouts and a medic cut off from anything else. They do manage to actually get a few picks here and take mid, but they're gonna be having to move quickly if they want to have a chance at converting this round. And obviously Garda are aware of this. They're gonna take no risks whatsoever. They're gonna be bunkering up on loss as fast as they can. They do have Els as a sniper in forward, but
Not sure he's doing.
he's very passive. He's yeah, like the Zoo are just taking this forward as quickly as they can. They have to get onto that point. They know they have to get onto that point. They have not much time left here. They want to try to make something happen. They're waiting on that Uber. That Uber is coming up within mere seconds as they already run in through a river. Kitty does get the sentry, but Scammo and Bill both get taken down by the trap. The Uber obviously comes out from the side of Garda as well, and it's just an absolute crumble. Everybody tries to walk onto the point and just gets shut down, and that's it. They couldn't do it. They tried their best, but they couldn't do it, and that's that means that Garda are your champions of Div 2. They've won both maps. GG's.
Yeah, pretty solid performance. Like I said, like the soldiers from Garda were doing work on the mids, and it really seemed to stem from there. Like once they had the mid, they had good map control for most of the points.
And they just managed to do that more clearly. Very nice. Very good game, though. Very good game to watch. Obviously, really close. Score suggests like the games were extreme. The maps were really close. They could have probably gone either way, but yeah, very slow games. Very slow. Maybe that's also why. Well, I don't know if we have logs or anything like that, or if you want to do some interviews with these gamers, because that is a great thing, right? We do have logs. Let's look at those first, obviously. One thing after another. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Never do that. Yeah, again, I think this time it shows a little bit more of a dominant side on the side of Garda here. Just like on the stats.
It's just focus fire and fades, and just where the fades actually happen. When you look at the damage, only 600 more damage for Garda, but they have almost 20 more kills. It's pretty significant when you think about it.
They just did a better job at cleaning up.
Better.
Yeah, they cleaned up their kills way more efficiently. Also, yeah, like again, Milky not putting in as much work, but putting in a lot of work, obviously, for his team.
Yeah, it seems like the combo from Garda had a really solid game. You know, the demo of less than 10 deaths, and Mankey only had 2 deaths. It's giving credit to Yoshi, but I never feel like Mankey even got pressure, so he never really had to show off anything he was doing. It wasn't a lot of sacks.
Sitting back all the way and nobody even got close to him. You know, they all died or got shut down before they even got anywhere near him. So they couldn't get much on, and yeah, it really just shows you got more Ubers off. He died less often. That's ultimately what won them the game. But Derpy having a huge game there, especially with that last time they pushed the last, and he just like killed 4 people or something. That huge game for him. He was putting in a lot of work on this map for once.
So really solid from the combo of Garda. Never really felt that they were under pressure. Their soldiers and scouts doing a really good job.
Overall, very, very solid play. Just very solid play. And valiant effort by the Zoo as well. Very valiant effort. They had some good moments, but they just couldn't ever quite finish off their pushes, and the desperation setting in towards the end they really screwed up a lot of things that they could have easily won. Especially like a few of the last pushes. Like I thought like, they totally have this in the bag, and then they threw it away because they got very desperate. But things happen. The things happen sometimes, and That's just how things go. Well, I don't know if there's any gamers. Yeah, we'll have gamers soon that might want to get interviewed. But I enjoyed watching this game, and congratulate obviously Garda Panteri on their championship. I guess you could call it a championship for Div 2 in this season of ETF2L, and obviously GG's to all the players involved, and also GG's to the Zoo, putting up a great fight. They really did. Great to watch. What was your favorite moment, Sprite? What was your favorite moment of the game?
Ooh, on Gully or just in general?
In general.
I like the meds a lot on Metalworks because they're really, really interesting. You see both teams kind of taking a different approach, and towards the end, I think Garda really started to make the connections about how to fix the mids. And you see, they brought that into the second map, I feel, as well.
They really did, yeah. I obviously I'm a sucker for air shots, so I love seeing some great ones there.
Yeah, I saw Milky at least 4 or 5 really good ones.
And that one time he got absolutely destroyed as well, like trying to bomb the combo.
I think he might have jumped into a trap and then jumped straight into an air pipe straight after. Just really funny.
Just absolutely destroyed. Yeah, great, lots of great moments, obviously by both teams. I hope they have something to say themselves as well. You know, I wonder how it was from their perspective. Obviously, it's a different thing when we've got this overview that we have, that we see everything, we're omniscient, we know exactly what's going on and how they felt in certain situations and how they, you know, did handle certain situations, because obviously, yeah, there were a few things that were a little iffy. We were watching like, okay, why would they do that? Oh, that's strange, but they did it, and for some of them it worked. We'll have to see. All right. Yeah. Great game though. I don't have much to talk about anymore. It's just, yeah, like obviously you have a 2-0 in the maps. You'd think, oh, one team must have been very dominant, but the score lines don't lie.
So close.
It was so close. It could have really gone either way. I think, you know, if maybe like the Zoo just had a little bit of a better day or something like that, or Garda had a little bit of a worse day. I think that's really what it boils down to.
It felt more like the Zoo's, like the plays they wanted to do in the stalemates were not working for them at all for a lot of the things. Yeah. Like they would get someone behind on second, and then they would lose 2-3 at choke just by being unlucky.
It's just unfortunate that they just couldn't ever quite finish it off. But yeah, I guess they just didn't have maybe they just had a little bit of a worse day. You know, a lot of it comes down at the end of the day to how great of a day you're having. How's your mojo today? You know. But
you can definitely see on the second map that the desperation was starting to set in a bit more for the Zoo. It makes you wonder, as I said early on about the atmosphere and the mumbo, it must have got even worse towards the end.
So we'll have to see how that goes. We do have a gamer joining us, though.
Hello, gamer.
We do indeed. We have Dizzy joining us from a victorious team. How's it going, my dude?
Yes. Pretty good. Just won an official.
Yeah, I mean you won the league.
Know. Yeah, you might have heard we won a game just now. Yes.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the game? How do you feel about it was pretty close overall? You know, the games were very slow, but how do you feel about the game overall? Do you think you performed as good as you could have, or think you could have done any better?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good about the game. Personally, I don't know. I wasn't able to do a lot because our team likes to rush things that are like motorcycles going on and on. So I had to be like the backup line almost. So I kind of oftentimes when we pushed out anywhere, I'd be on last with the sentry, just waiting for a backup, and that's what they actually tried to do a lot on Gullywash, for example.
Yeah, several times.
So I wasn't in a lot of fights, but I think I was a solid backup line, yes, and my team just goes and kills everyone.
Yeah, they really did that.
When they tried the backup player for the combo, did that surprise you guys at all? Were you ready for that?
On Gully?
Yeah, there was a time where their combo pushed lower with the Yipper, and you guys immediately stunned it, it seemed.
Yeah, I think we lost a player to that, but we barely held it. They kept sending in players all the time.
Yeah,
What
as
about
we
the,
actually
the
have.
spy play as well? What do you think about that?
Yeah,
I almost lost. Wheelcheck is too good.
he was
Thank
getting
God.
your games to close. Yeah,
Yeah, they were pretty close, but we were confident in winning, so like they were
and
close
it
games.
worked
But
out. Yeah, we do also have Aoshi actually joining us here.
Oh, good evening, guys.
How's it going, my dude? Good game.
Okay.
Even though you did lose, you put up a great fight. It was a very close game. How did you
Yeah.
feel about the game overall?
I'm pretty happy with it. I think we put up a decent fight.
Yeah. I would
but,
agree.
We just came short in the end, and then over time we just couldn't, because we couldn't manage to get put over the edge, to so say it. It kept we kept just being stuck in the slope, and we couldn't go anywhere. It felt.
Yeah, like we saw a lot of that. Like it seemed like you guys got a lot more desperate towards the end, especially with Gully. Like a lot of pushes got a little bit more scrappy. You just kept throwing players at the point and stuff like that. It got a lot like more desperate. It seemed like you guys were trying to figure out how to really get in there. But you still put up a great fight, and obviously had like a pretty good round on Metalworks. You know that second round when you equalized, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it felt like a completely different game than we usually play, because we've scrimmed the Garda Panteri before, of course, during the season. But this was like, I felt like everybody, our team as well as the opposing team, felt like the pressure of the final was on the line, so everything was just slowed down to like 10% of the usual speed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna ask about that. Like, was the mumble tension side? Did you really feel like the pressure, especially towards the end of Gully, where a lot of the kind of more desperate pushes you're making weren't exactly working? Like, do you feel like the mumble atmosphere was really starting to fade there, or?
I don't think this atmosphere was starting to fade, really. I think everybody kept trying their best until the last second, and just kept trying to push to get the round that we needed.
So what do you think was going wrong in the pushes then? Was it the communication? Was it just them outplaying you in some of the situations?
I think they definitely outplayed us in quite a set of the situations. But also, we, like I mentioned earlier, that we got stuck in that loop of trying something, it not working, trying it again, without trying to try something different. We kept trying the same method that we know worked before, as in a safe bet, even though it wasn't working this time. We were too scared to try something different, to just try something else. We kept trying to want to play the safe play that we're used to. But I think I'm still overall very happy of how we performed during the season and during the match. So I'm hoping the team sticks together, and hoping that we can put down a good performance next season as well.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely did well. You've got absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Like second place, yeah, it's not first, but it's still absolutely a great thing to put down. It's never something to be upset about. Totally.
Do you think you guys would play Div 1 if you kept playing, or are you going to play Div 2 again and try and go for the gold medal instead of the silver one?
It depends on what changes in our roster. I think if we stick together fully, that we would probably give Div 1 a shot. If we switch out one, maybe two players, then we're probably going to go with Div 2 again, I would say.
And the same question for Desi. How about your team? Are they going to stick together, or is this just win and leave?
Yeah, we're supposed to be a long-term team, so I'm hoping we'll be playing together next season and the season after that.
Nice.
We are aiming for gold, yes. Aiming to kill gamers.
And are either of your teams going to LAN?
We're not with Garda Panther. We're not going to LAN at least.
Same with our team. We're not going to LAN either.
Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. But oh
the
well.
shit costs a lot of money, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's too expensive. Can't go.
Maybe Copenhagen games again. That was fun.
Copenhagen for sure. I was there last time, and I'm probably gonna be there next year as well.
Yeah, we went with our team last year as well. It was great fun.
All right then. Any shout outs you guys want to give? Let's start with the top. Yoshi. Anybody you want to shout out?
I'll start off by shouting out the casters and Gemm camera. Then of course my team, opposing a team as well, for the great game. And lastly, my work colleagues, because they were saying they were gonna watch this apparently.
Oh, All right. Anybody you want to shout out, Dizzy?
Well, obviously, shoutouts to my team for being good. Shoutouts to Morko and the Zoo for being the best teams in Div 2. We screamed a lot against. They were a very good practice. And especially shout out to the Zoo for a crazy grand final. And shout out to every Finnish TF2 player. They're the best.
National pride, wonderful.
Yes.
All right, Sprite. Anybody you want to shout out, bud?
Yeah, shout out to Ascent, Crunch, Erect and Aputas, and my good friend Ko for getting me in the cast.
Right, yeah, he got you on very, very last second because we really wanted to cover this game. Yeah, obviously, for myself, shoutouts to everybody that played. It was a wonderful game to watch. Shoutouts to anybody that joined us as well for watching, and shoutouts to TFTV for having me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for the Div 2 Grand Finals of Season 33 of ETF2L. Hope you guys enjoyed, and that's it from us.